Okay, try this here. Normally, I think for like a day or so what I want to talk about on the videos, but I got a lot going on, so I try to through the fall, winter, and spring. I like to make my videos, and every 2 weeks I like to upload a video, or in some cases upload two because this phone shuts off every 32 minutes, and then it has to pick up recording again. But anyways, got a lot of stuff going on, so I just jotted down a couple things and like to touch base on, and go there. First order of business here. Um, I also forgot something. Along with this real estate chaos that's going on, um, these major corporations are just going through like a giant powerhouse tornado, and they're buying up all these small town houses. I think the state, the people we look up to, like the senators, the congressmen, the mayors, they all need to get together and tell these corporations, you're not going to come through here and buy up these residential houses. And the reason is because you have too much money. Okay, these residential houses are for the residents that lived here and want to live here, and you know, where regular corporations, they pay the full price. You get these giant places like BlackRock. Um, they're paying their interest and everything is 30% lower, and they're getting more money. It ain't good. I mean, I remember, before I found out I had to redo my housing search because I really busted my ass trying to find a house, but everybody's like, man, you picked the worst time in the history of the housing market to get a house. But anyways, they're like, well, that corporation bought up that stretch of houses. I'm like, what? So, anyways, the moral is I think the state needs to step in and say, look, you want to buy up the businesses, that's one thing, but the residential houses need to be bought by regular people or small business owners. You know what I'm saying? Use your common sense, because at the rate it's going, if this world is still here in the future, there's not going to be a house for regular people to buy. And if it is, it's going to be so absurdly priced that you ain't going. It's not. It's a bad deal. Our medical system. I got a bill in the mail, and I actually got a couple, like $20, $50, and the only reason I know this is, it's not that I care. It's just it's extra shit. Like, back in the day, in the 90s, you walk in after you see the emergency room people. The lady walks in, you talk to her. She's there for get all your information. You hand them one card, whether it's a state issued insurance or a private insurance. I've had them both. And nowadays, you got to have a secondary insurance, and in some cases, a third insurance. So where it used to be, you just hand them one card and it covered everything. Now you're getting a bill randomly in the mail, and it's like, I think somebody had good intentions, but they absolutely destroyed our medical system. I believe that with all my heart. I think it was just annihilated. It's the worst thing for our medical system that happened. And even I've talked to doctors that they're pissed off because I don't know what it is, but something they have to rotate or something. I don't know, but nobody likes it. It's awful. Okay, yeah. If you're like your congressman, your governor, your senator for your state, our state, Missouri, support them. I mean, if you see them going over here on the Capitol Hill and all that bullshit going to bat for you, figure out some way to support them. Let them know, hey, we got your back. The same way you support your team, like your athletic team. Um, I'm not big into sports, but I've always liked baseball, but I've never had a chance to go and watch the games and cheer the fellas on and shit like that. Hopefully in the future I get a chance to go to a couple baseball games, but I don't do sports outside of that. But anyways, yeah, just like that, you need to cheer on your congressmen, your senators, even your mayors. Stand behind them. And vote for them if they're doing really good. Don't make them stress about that vote. Are we going to get that vote? Well, if you're doing a good job, everybody should pull together. You know, um, yeah, support your politicians. Doesn't matter who you are, especially if they're doing a good job and they have the best interests for our country. I actually think now is the time when we need to put our differences aside, and it doesn't matter how you look at it. We as Americans are in danger, you know. And in all honesty, we need each other. There can be no more this against that, that against that. It's the good guys against the bad guys. I'm telling you right now, figure that one out. You guys can always go back to arguing the way you were, but we're in the danger zone right now. And I don't get anything off my videos. I upload them for free. Here you go. It's what I got to give. I don't have a lot, but I got this to give. Maybe it'll help out someone. So I ain't getting shit. Nobody's nothing. All my videos move from YouTube all over to Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, you name it. They go everywhere. So I'm really doing this to try to help. Um, but in the future, something I do want to do. I want to start singing. I want to learn how to sing music. I sing like a little bit. I've never sang a song all the way through, other than like a little bitty chorus in the shower, driving down the road. But I've never actually sang a song all the way through. But I got some really good ideas for um, country, maybe some rap. I remember 80s and 90s rap. I grew up watching, Easy E, Tupac, Ice Cube, Ice T, Millie Vanilli, KRS-One, um, so many. I don't even know. I feel awful because I got put on the spot here. So I don't want to disrespect any of the older artists, MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice. So if I don't mention their name, it's no disrespect. I got a lot on my head, but they're all fabulous. And but anyways, I'd like to get into it, but I can't do that. I have other priorities I have to do first. But I like to do that. I'd like to build a really strong YouTube channel and just have fun. Do fun shit. I got so much stuff I want to show. It's it's for everybody, even people that don't like me. Like, oh, okay, well, that's kind of cool. He's trying to help me too. So that old saying, love your enemies. You can do that to a point. This war in Israel um, and Pakistan, I don't want to get too political, but I have friends that live in Poland. Okay, so I'm not just sitting here pulling shit out of my ass like, oh, by the way, this. No, I got boots on the ground over there, guys, and it's bad. It's really bad because I think we're on the verge of something really bad happening. I don't know. I got a really bad feeling we're going to get sucked into a war. The United States is going to go into a war. You mark my words. Something is going to happen because this one Israel place is bombing this Pakistan place, and that's not that they've been doing that for 60, 70 years. Okay, that's not normal. The problem is now I'm seeing videos where children are dying. Now we got a problem. You know, we got women that done nobody nothing. So I think on some level both sides are wrong. But I got a friend over there, like I said, and he lives in Poland. He said that Israel would have never moved on Palestine the way they did unless they had America's approval prior to that. That was a movement of force. They're pretty confident they had something. I don't know. I don't want to get too into it because I ain't trying to disrespect nobody. But I got a feeling there's something going on. What? I don't know. But I can tell you one thing. Russia, North Korea, um, China, Iran, and all these other places, um, we're outgunned. It doesn't mean we lost the fight. I'm just telling you right now, we're outgunned, and they know this. They know our country is divided more so now than it has ever been. Our politicians are arguing, they're divided. We have a divided house where normally they all stand together and hold up the roof of Capitol Hill. Well, now you have a bunch on this side and a bunch on this side, and it's weak. They put too much pressure on it, it's going to cave in. Just like I'm not getting nothing, guys. I'm really trying to have an unbiased. Nothing. I'm not taking nobody's side here, but this is bad. I'm telling you, this is not good. So something needs to happen. I don't know. I'm mainly talking to the politicians here on this one. You guys got to get along. I'm telling you right now. You know, our president, President Biden, I'm not going to talk bad about him. He's our president. Whether or not he's good or bad, you know in your heart. You understand? I can't convince you. No one can convince you. Your political figure is like your team. You can have a team that's a pile of shit and the whole team sucks, but you're gonna stand there and cheer them on. Like, fuck you, dude. My team's badass. Even though you know in your head and your heart your team sucks, but you still gotta root them. You still gotta cheer them on. Now the same thing's true with the politicians and the political stuff, but we're not supposed to. We can touch base on it, but we can't get too deep into it because it's frowned upon. And the reason it's frowned upon is because you're never going to win. But I think we're at a point right now where everybody needs to ask their heart and their head and say, okay, for my sake, for my children's sake, for my neighbor's sake, what's the best course of action? Because I'm going to tell you right now, nobody's going to win. We need everybody working together to pull us out of this shit. But anyways, that's a whole nother thing. Which moves me on to the next one. Thank a soldier. Like if you know anybody that's fought for our country, thank them. And don't do it for anything other than to be grateful. Do it when there's nobody around, like you have a family member or an uncle or something. Go take them something. Maybe if they're, I don't know, in case soda or something. I don't know. You get the point. Shit, figured out. Just be thankful for that. You know what I'm saying? Be genuine. You don't have to do it when there's always a camera around. It means more when there's not a lot of cameras and stuff. And it'll mean it too. We've lost. I actually had the privilege of meeting the World War I and World War II soldiers. I caught the tail end of it, but I met a few World War I soldiers, and I went out of my way to listen to them, to hear their stories. And when all my other friends, they were out doing this, that, and the other, I'm sitting there listening to a 95-year-old man tell me stories of war. It's because it intrigued me. And now that 95-year-old man's knowledge is in here, but it's kind of complicated. But anyways, all the World War I soldiers are gone. World War II soldiers, there's 119,550 soldiers left. Find them, track them down, thank them, let them know you appreciate them. And of course, any soldier. Doesn't matter if it's the cook in the back of the kitchen. Which reminds me, I love cooks. I thank you if you can cook food. You really do have a special place in my heart if you know how to cook. I'm learning how to cook right now. But yeah, anybody that can cook. Oh my goodness, that is. Oh my goodness. But yeah. So thank a soldier on any level, anyone that fights for this country, even if it's the secretary up front. She has a part in protecting our country. You walk through the doors of your local station, thank them too. Doesn't matter. Um, Let me explain something. A lot of my buddies are like, "Well, man, I'm happy I got back to the housing situation." They're like, "I'm happy I got, because they paid 60,000 for their house here in Missouri, and they sold it for 150 or 170. I'm not kidding, not even a little bit. I'm like, okay, see, that's good, and I'm happy for you. I'm proud for you. I really am. I'm truly happy. But you're going to pay for that $100,000. I promise you. And what I mean is, if you itemize all your bills, let's just say from 2015 to 2019, add up everything you spent in fuel, groceries. You know where I'm going with this. Utilities, everything. Add all your every dime you spent. And then add up from 2019 to